Hey, what's going on everybody? Chase here at Rocky Mountain. Thank you for checking in. Today I'm showing you just this Lezyne mountain bike chain gauge. This is a tool that is very inexpensive. You're about 10 or 11 bucks, and I think that every mountain biker needs to have one of these in their shop or in the garage. And what this allows you to do very quickly and easily is just measure the amount of wear that you have in your chain to make sure that it's not too worn out and that it needs to be replaced. And before I show you how to use this, let me explain why making sure that you're not using a chain that's too worn out is so important. With mountain bike chains, a lot of us have probably heard that term before, chain stretch. It's kind of misleading just because the materials of your chain aren't physically stretching. Actually, what's happening is that you're wearing out the metal on your chain, and over time, the more you wear out that metal, the longer the chain will actually start to get. Now, we're talking about a very small, minute number here. We're talking about maybe a half millimeter or, less than 1% of your chain is wearing out, but that's all it takes to get out of spec. Now, the way this works is as your chain's going around, it's getting onto the chain rings and the teeth, you've got your pins going through your rollers, and those rollers, the material on there is what's actually wearing down. And what happens is that as that gets worn down, if it gets worn down too much, well, your chain is not going to sit on your chain ring and your cogs correctly in the correct position, and that can cause these to wear down a lot quicker. And the bad news is when that happens is that you could be replacing more than just your chain. You might have to replace your chain ring or your cogs, and that gets pretty pricey pretty quick. So you want to be checking up on this and making sure that your chain is still within spec. That's where this comes into handy. And the way this works is really simple. All you're going to do is just take it, you're going to drop it in onto one of the rollers here on this end, and then just honestly, you're just going to let it fall down. And you'll notice that right here on the very end, you have two marks. You have 0.5 and 0.75, and there's a little step on there. So when I put this in, you can see how on my chain, since it's fairly new, it doesn't get past that 0.5 line. That means that my chain is within spec. It's not too worn out. If you had a chain that was too worn and you were to do the same thing, well, this whole piece would just drop in there and you would get above that 0.75. That tells you that your chain is too worn out and that it needs to be replaced. It is that simple. So periodically, all you got to do is just drop this thing in there. You can do it with the bike on a stand or on the ground. It doesn't matter. And that will let you know before it's too late that you need to replace your chain. A couple little cool things about this also is that it is kind of a multi-tool. You have a chain hook on here, so if you need to hold your chain, if you're messing with your master link, you can do that. It even has a valve core tool, so if you need to remove your valve core, it'll allow you to do that, and has a bottle opener. How about that? So again, simple, cost-effective tool that every rider should have. You got to be checking up on your chain, make sure that it's still within spec, and if it's not, get that thing replaced. So grab yours today. Click on the link, or just head to RockyMountainATVMC.com. If you want to stay up to date on little product spotlights like this, get subscribed to our YouTube channel, hit that notification bell, and that way you'll always stay up to date. I am Chase. We'll see you on the trails.